Welcome everyone to our low and no views update video. What we're going to do is take those low and no views that we have listed on our Facebook Marketplace and give them a boost so that we can get them to sell. Now, before we get started, we're going to be talking about some different apps. So make sure that you have a pen and paper ready. You're going to be taking some notes. Make sure to like and subscribe. Every week we're adding and we're uploading new videos to help you guys out on your Facebook Marketplace journey and business. Before we get too deep into low and no views, we want to talk a little bit about our economy, the state of how things are going, how it's affecting all of you. The reason why we're talking about this is specifically because it ties into low and no views. Now, we know that Facebook originally started shipping around the pandemic. It created a surge of business for a lot of people. We know that we're not going back to those days. We also know that when we started those at those times, it didn't matter what we put up, it sold. As things started to progress, we had the stimulus money, then the stimulus money ran out, and here we are. We're at the end of the pandemic, at least we hope. The appreciation that we've all felt is being reported to be over 7% just in last year, and that doesn't take into account any holiday shopping. I'm going to link the article below that was shared by one of our members, Nancy, who sent this over to me, and I just found it really interesting, and it really ties a lot into low and no views. So let's take a look at this, because when we're looking at the average household and having it cost $275 more per month per household just to be able to survive. And we're talking basic necessities, because we know things like gas, groceries, meat, all of the things that we buy on a daily basis, the prices skyrocketed up just in this last year, and especially lately. I mean, just gas prices alone are getting really high. But what that's doing is taking money out of your pocket. And then it's also creating people like you and I, who maybe have already been on the platform, that need to be able to make more money. And the first place they're going to go is, okay, when I'm looking around my house, what can I get rid of so that I can make this extra money to be able to do things like get to work, feed my family, and some of these basic things that we do to survive. When you have a surge of sellers that come online, we're on a platform that we already have tons of people on, it's going to create a low and no views situation. But here we are, we've already been dealing with low and no views. And there's ways and tips and tricks that we've been giving out to help you to combat this situation. Just like in the previous video where we did things like change the zip code that we're selling in, or delete and relist your listings, and different tricks like that, we've also found other things that we can add to low and no views to make it a better seller experience. In real estate, I sold real estate for 20 years. We have what's called a buyer's market and a seller's market. Well, Facebook Marketplace isn't any different. It's the same as eBay or Mercari or Poshmark or any of those other selling platforms. You're going to have situations where you have more buyers than sellers, and vice versa. Right now, we have more sellers than buyers, and that makes what we call a buyer's market. So how do you take your listing and put it on top so that people see it and they want to buy it? Now that we've talked about the economics, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and let's get into some of the tips and tricks that we can use to be able to help you out. The first thing I want to talk about, and I was talking to a friend who's also a member of our group. Her name is Taylor, and we did a little bit of an interview together where I kind of taught her how to make and create a bump buddy group. Now, maybe some of you guys have seen some posts and stuff about it here and there, where people put together bump buddy groups and how that affects your listings. I'm part of some. They have the ability to be quite effective, so that we're not going back to those days. We also know that when we started those at those times, it didn't matter what we put up, it sold. As things started to progress, we had the stimulus money, then the stimulus money ran out, and here we are. We're at the end of the pandemic, at least we hope, that we've all felt. Count any holiday shopping. I'm going to link the article below that was shared by one of members, Nancy, who sent this over to me, and it really ties a lot into low and no views. So let's take a look at this, because when we're looking at the average house and having it cost $275 more per month per house just to be able to survive. And we're talking meat, all of the things that we buy on a daily basis skyrocketed up just in this last year, and especially lately. I mean, just gas prices alone are getting really high. But what that's doing is taking money out of your pocket. And then it's also creating people like you and I that need to be able to make more money. And the first place they're going to go is, okay, when I'm looking around my house, what can I get rid of so that I can make this extra money to be able to do things like get to work, feed my family, and some of these basic things that we do to survive. When you have a surge of sellers that come.
Okay, so being able to do that is essentially, in a nutshell, staying fresh in the algorithm, no matter what type of listing, your pottery, your kid stuff, whatever. And it works for both personal as well as business or
Right.
shops.
Yes, it does. And so how you would set something like that up would be, you could create a messenger and you would add everybody to it. And then they would either just put the link in that they wanted to see, and everyone would go in and they would message each other from those links from the listing. So you would actually go into the listing,
Okay.
click on the link, to message the other person. You could have like a little code or something, or you just know who your people are, say, is this available? Yes, it is. Maybe ask a quick question about it, and just kind of toggle back and forth a couple of times, and then, say thank you and move on from that. And then, you have a couple people that might do that random throughout the day or even all at the same time. And that works too. It doesn't work every time. If you don't have a listing that's not great, nobody's going to go to it anyway. Having people spur it isn't going to do anything for you. But as far as shop, if a shop is feeding into marketplace, it's always a good thing to go and help shop out by following. With shop, anytime you list something, the people who are following your shop are the ones who are going to see your listings the first every time, and they're going to see it in their feed. Because you're following that shop, or that person is following that shop. That's the benefit of a bump buddy. And you can choose whether you want to do it in a messenger app. And there's another way you could do it. You could just make a Facebook group.
And that's funny you said that about shops and followers, because even though I don't have my shop up yet, I do still have a few commerce followers. So I didn't realize it showed up in their feed. So woo-hoo.
Yes, and it doesn't show up in the feed otherwise.
Right.
So let me show you. You would come to groups.
Okay.
Okay, and then you would say right here on create a group. So here's where you're going to do it. And then you would just make it a private group. You would invite those people into the group. And that's exactly where you would chat. If you needed something, you'd say, hey, can somebody bump this listing for me? Or, whatever works for you.
So one, how frequently do you recommend doing that per item?
If your item's not selling, then you might want to just go and revisit the item. Because even if bumping it is still not working, you can either delete it and relist it later on. And hopefully that works. Otherwise, you just might not have a great listing. All right, we're back, and hopefully you found that helpful, that a little bit of our conversation that we had about bump buddies. And I would encourage you to make and create your own bump buddy group, or join a bump buddy group that's already been made. Keep in mind, you don't want to have a great big huge group. If you have a huge group, a lot of people are going to be bombarding you with messages. So it's up to you how you choose to create it, but it is a great way to bump listings. One of our group experts, Anthony Rubio, has never kept how he creates the synergy on the listings that he has. He doesn't have tons and tons and tons of listings, but what he does do is when he has a listing that's dead, he deletes it and he relists it. He relists it in specific times that work best for him. So he does morning, afternoon, and evening listings. He deletes the listings that get low and no views. And he's very honest when he says 90% of my listings get low and no views. But he also knows from previous experience that these listings were hot sellers. If he's got a product that he knows for a fact is not seasonal, but something that people need year round, then it only makes sense that it's still going to be a relevant product for the people who need it. So what he does is he actually takes it 100% down off of his marketplace, and then he relists it later. And he has to do that with a system that he has in place, a system and a schedule, and to make it relevant for him. And when a listing dies out, which I've seen several of you guys say, well, I've got something and it's just like it goes gangbusters, and then all of a sudden it goes dead. Well, how do you fix that? Let's do what Anthony says. Anthony takes it off, gives it a rest, and then re-uploads it on another time. And if it fails again, he just takes it off and puts it back on again. There are times when your listing just flat out isn't a good listing. It's possible that some listings that worked before aren't going to work again. Only time is going to tell with deleting and relisting to know that maybe you need new fresh pictures, maybe you need new titles or descriptions to put back into that listing to give it that fresh new look, pep it up a little bit. I've seen some of you say that you've lost your ability to ship, but did you know that you could make a business page and open a shop? If you do the 4-step video process in creating and building a shop, you should have no problem getting that approved and then being able to ship. Another trick that people use when creating followers, they create a business page and then they take their listings and they post them over to their business page. Let me show you how that works. All right, right here I have one of my business pages. If I take and go over to Marketplace where I have a listing, this is a kitchen item. If I click share and I copy the link right here, I can go right back over to my business page and I'm going to create a post. I'm going to paste the link right here. It's going to pull up that exact listing. And all I have to do is post that right into my business page. Now, I have over 600 followers just on this page alone. What that's going to do is going to share this marketplace listing that I have in the news feed of all of the people who are following this page. So that's one way that you can do it and create more views. Now, I will warn you, by doing this, Facebook has a new thing where they're not saying glow and no views anymore. They're saying these are clicks. How many people clicked on your listing? And they're clicks from Marketplace, not necessarily from a shop or an outside source or even in a group. Another fun way to increase the views is through your market research, making sure that when you're looking and when you're posting, you're not only posting with good product descriptions, pictures, and titles, but also doing your market research and knowing what price range it needs to be in. And also if your product is maybe oversaturated in the market. It used to be that we would look at eBay to see what's selling on eBay to know what could possibly being sold on Facebook. Now we're able to do the same thing on Facebook that you can do on other platforms. Let me show you how. Now I want to tell you that I learned this trick from Patryk the marketer, and I'll link the video that shows exactly how to put this together and install it on your desktop versus your phone. You can do this on your phone, but if you want to do it on your desktop, you can do it here also. I downloaded a program called BlueStacks, and then I uploaded the Facebook app onto it, just like you would if you had an Android phone. And you can scroll through your Facebook just like you would on your phone, but on your desktop. Sometimes it's easier to be able to copy and paste information on things that you're looking for. So now let's take that same item that we posted on the cookbook for one shop where we had the kitchen finger protector, and let's go over and look at it on the app. So I'm going to search and look at all the people that have a kitchen finger protector listed on Facebook Marketplace. Now, would you look at this? Here's one for $1.94. I also saw one for 99 cents, but let's click on it and see what it looks like. So it's showing the finger protector right here. It's saying it's in stock, that there's 5 left, and it ships for $8. This $2 finger protector is actually $9. Let's look at another one. Same thing on this one, almost gone, only 9 left, and ships for $5. So it's actually more than the $2 one in total because it's $10 versus the $9 on the other one. Now what I can do is filter this just like you do on your phone. And I can even change it to what's sold and see those listings. Now, the one thing I don't like about looking at sold data like this is a lot of times people just click sold. And so we don't really know if it's truly sold or not, because you can do pickup and also shipping on Facebook Marketplace. All right, now I want to show you something interesting, because I went to something that I know is something that's been selling lately, and especially with golf season coming up, a lot of stuff is that quit selling before is starting to come back online. So you've got this golf swing corrector laser plane trainer. He's sold 2 of them so far. It ships for free and sells it for $19. This might be something that would be good to ship. If you go back and you look at the finger protectors, something that was selling really well before is no longer selling well anymore. And you can see that those didn't have any sold data in any of them. I have 100 of these finger protectors at my house that I'd like to get rid of. Right now, it's really not the season for it. It's oversaturated in the market for selling these. Now, when I first started selling them, they actually sold really well. And I was actually able to get even $12 for just one of these finger protectors. I've already sold a ton of them, but right now they're not selling anymore because the market is oversaturated. And that $12 has come way down, and people are still trying to eke out $10 for one of these, and they're not even getting that. So this that's listed is not getting any views. And that's the reason why. It has to come off the market and either find a different place to list it that's not oversaturated, or hold on to it and sell it later, or get rid of it at a super, super deep discount where people will be willing to pay for it. So it's really important to do your market research on the things that you are selling. Another thing is doing promotions. We talked about that on the other video, and we also have other videos out there that talk about how to do promotions on Facebook Marketplace. But to do short, sweet promotions, if you come back over to the BlueStacks app or on your phone and you're looking in your marketplace, you can actually see what's ending soon. Those are the promotions. So when you have those short promotion time periods, 1 to 2 hours, or 3 to 4 hours in a day, and you do them when people are online, you're going to get a lot more activity on your listings and ability to be able to get those sold. Maybe you can see this. It says $6. The price is $5.34. Well, this is the strikeout price of the $6 down to the $5.34. This is the sale. It's not a very big sale on the item, but it says, hurry, sales ending soon. And these are the items that are on sale. People might not be focusing on the previous price, but what they do see is under $6 and it's $5.34 or $5.99. And sometimes even something as simple as 1% off on a promotion is enough to be able to push people up. And it also gets you in the featured sales, assuming that's what the buyer is looking for or they need. So it's important to think outside the box, to read up and stay active in your groups to see what's working for some people and maybe not others, and also be able to share what works for you so that we can all become successful on this platform to help take care of our families and create a better lifestyle for all of us. Happy selling, everyone, and thanks for joining us today.